Okay, this lesson is using time language for instructions. We've already done a lesson on instructions, looking at the way we lay it out, looking at using subheadings and looking at using bullet points. Today is going to be slightly different. I'm going to sort of talk and walk through me, writing sentences. I'm going to show you how I go about doing it. So it's a little bit of a modelling writing. Now the aim, of course, is using time language. So do you know what I did first? Is I got myself a bank of some good time language. You should always do this before you start writing things. Think about if there's an intention to your writing, that is. And because this is my intention, I selected a load of time language here: shortly, after, before, meanwhile, minutes later, soon after, next, then, first. That's going to be really helpful for me as I go through and write. I'm going to sort of check them off. Now I've got a title, as I do with all instructions: Getting Started in Minecraft. This is what this one's going to be about. Now I'm not using subheadings and bullet points for this one. I'm actually going to write it as a paragraph, a kind of tips and tricks. I really like playing games. I've been playing lots of games during this time off. One of my favourite games is a very old game. It was there when I was a child. It's called Minecraft. I think people still play Minecraft today, and it really is. It's a good game, really good for maths and logic skills. And I'm going to do a little tip to how to start. So, at the very beginning, I'm going to think about what's my first aim when I start playing Minecraft. Well, one of the first things I'm going to do is I need a shelter. I'm going to need somewhere to protect myself, because when the night comes, it's a lot more dangerous. There are things that can harm me at night time, so I need to find some sort of protection for nighttime. That's true of any sort of survival situation. Remember, the aim of Minecraft is to stay alive and to get resources and to build things. It's a creative game. So, first thing I'm going to need to do is build a shelter, but I don't want to build a shelter just anywhere. I'm going to need to find the right location. So, first, you will need to find a good spot to build shelter. Now I know a lot of you who do play Minecraft are screaming out and saying you can't just build a shelter, you don't just have magic blocks. You're going to need to get the blocks, you're going to need to chop down the wood, you're going to need to make the tools to chop down the wood. Well, I'm going to get that. What I'm doing to start with though is I'm stating my general first intention. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to further break down the steps to get to that point. So first I will need to find a good spot to build a shelter. A good spot. You can't go and use a phrase like a good spot and not explain to the reader what a good spot is. A good spot is a location. Now in Minecraft this would be a location where there is resources for trees, where there's probably some flat land so I can do some farming, and I'm probably going to want some water because water is going to be really important. So I'm going to go on to explain. First you will need to find a good spot to build a shelter. I'm going to go into a new line because I can't quite fit it in there. I don't want to do half a word. So, recognizing a good place is really important. Okay, let me just check over my writing so far. I kind of know what I want to say now. I've already said it. I want to talk about the water, I want to talk about the trees, I want to talk about making the tools. If I was a bad writer, I would just splurge on and just carry on writing, but I do not do that now. I stop and I check that my sentences make sense. It might be a slower way of doing your writing, but it is going to enhance it in the long term. First, I spotted a mistake already. First, it's a fronted adverbial. First, comma. You will need to find a good spot to build shelter. I already spotted a mistake. I did not do that deliberately. I was not testing you. It's a genuine mistake I made. Doesn't matter how old you are or how good you think you are at literacy, you will make mistakes when you're writing, and it's really important that you check your work. Good spot to build shelter. Recognizing a good place is really important. I could have written that sentence, it is important to recognize a good place, but I changed the way, I varied the way I opened my sentence. It's a really good tactic. There's a whole video on varying your openers on YouTube. Go and check it out if you're struggling with that. Recognizing a good place is really important. You will need, not spell that right, have I? You want somewhere with plenty of trees, I'm going to go and list a few things now. Plenty of trees, access to water, comma, flat land for farming, and put one last thing to my list, flat land for farming, and some potential for mining. Mining. Okay, full stop. Now there is a full stop there, I know it's hiding behind Mrs. Penn's Van Gogh cats. So, first, you will need to find a good spot to build a shelter. Recognizing a good place is really important. You want somewhere with plenty of trees, access to water, flat land for farming, and potential for mining. Okay? Check my sentence, make sure that there is a full stop at the end. Now, that was I'm going to rewrite that bit just so that I don't go over the end of the page, because it needs to look neat. Land for farming and potential for mines. Full stop. That's going to fit in now, isn't it? I've checked it over, it makes sense. I didn't just list all these things, I put a comma in between each key idea. So somewhere with, there's one idea, plenty of trees, comma, access to water, comma, flat land for farming. The last one doesn't need a comma, I'm going to use an and. So I've got comma, comma, and potential for mines. Okay, that is my first paragraph. I'm opening up the general thing that I want in my writing. And there you go, that worked. So I've written my first paragraph. Now what I'm going to do is move on to my next bit. Now that I've found a good location, I'm going to move on. And I'm going to start to explain how we can make the shelter. How do you decide whether to move on to a new paragraph? Well, it's this little thing called Tiptop, okay? When the time changes, there's TI for time. When the place changes, when the topic changes, TI for topic, or when the person changes. That's when I'm going to go for a new paragraph, generally in my writing. Change of time, place, topic, or person. Tip-top. Really good to remember that, to understand when you move to a new paragraph. Because I've done one thing, my introduction of what I want, now I'm going to move on to how I do it. So I found myself a good location. So, soon after, frontal adverbials, I'm going to use a comma, you will need some tools. Before you do this, well, what are we going to need to get the tools? I'm going to need to chop some wood. So to make my tools, I will need to chop some wood. To make your tools, you will need wood, comma, which you can get from trees. Soon after, you will need some tools. To make your tools, you will need wood. That's a main clause. I'm going to add a little bit onto my main clause, which you can get from trees, okay? Added that little bit on to the end, so I'm going to use a comma just to pop that on, okay? Once you've collected wood, so I'm kind of using that as to show how time is progressing. Once you have collected wood, build a wooden bench to make tools. Okay? Next, comment, build an axe, comma, pickaxe, and spade. I'm going to add a little bit more to this. Actually, no, I'm not going to leave it there. Right, now, let me go back and check my writing. Soon after, you will need some tools. Okay, good. To make your tools, you will need wood, which you can get from trees. Excellent. Once you've collected wood, comma, build a wooden bench to make tools. Full stop. Next, build an axe, pickaxe, and spade. What is a spade? And spade. full stop. Brilliant. Once again, I found a mistake as I checked through my writing. Now at this point, I've got my tools and I'm starting to be ready to build my house, okay? Having tools is going to really help me in Minecraft. Having a good location is going to help me. I'm going to start building my shelter. I could carry on writing this, but you've got the general idea of how I'd like your piece of writing to be. It is an instruction on how to do something. It could be still an instruction on cooking, but if you already did an instruction on cooking, try and do something else. If it's a game you've been playing, that's great. If it's how to do Oxford Reading Buddy, how to answer a comprehension, that would be a really good set of instructions. First, you're going to need access to Oxford Reading Buddy. Then you will need to log on to the website. Soon after, you will be selecting the work that is relevant to your level. Make sure that when you take a test after reading the book, you check back to the work. Can you see how in all of these we can use time language for our instructions? Now, obviously I've been waffling on for a long time. This video has gone on for ages. I am going to pause now. What I'd like you to do, time language for instructions. Think of a set of instructions, whether it's building a den, whether it's playing a game, whether it's how to do your work. I want you to write them for me, not using bullet points, not using subheadings, just a nice couple of paragraphs to explain how you can do it. Off you go.